So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So here we're going to talk about the ghost parking, why there are parking fee, why there are parking man, and especially right in front of Gadurasa. So here we got the first uh, audience or first guest, Pak Gunarto. Can you please introduce yourself? What's your name?
My name
And,
is Darto.
and what did you do for a living?
I sell takoyaki for my spare money, and I usually park my car at Gadurasa.
Okay. And the next one for the motorcycle driver, we have Pak Joko. Pak Joko, good morning, Pak Joko.
Yes, good morning, Mr.
So, what's your name and what did you do for a living?
So my name is Joko Risanggeni, and I am a online driver.
Oh,
I
so
usually park my motorcycle at Kadurasa.
you usually do like Shopee Food, Gojek, or something like that.
Yes, that's right.
And for the last one, we have Pak Jono here. Good morning, Pak Jono.
Good morning.
So what's your name and what did you do for a living?
Okay, so first of all, my name is Jono, and I'm a parking man. I am a parking man, especially on the Gadurasa parking lot area, and that's like what I do for a living. Little bit money, but as long as I can live with that, I guess it's cool.
Okay, thank you, Pak Joko. Pak Jono. So maybe you guys haven't know my name yet. My name is you guys can call me Jati, but you guys can call me G. So Sir Gunarto, can you explain or tell me what happened yesterday?
Yesterday, when I was about to park my car, I didn't see anybody. So I pulled up my car right in front of Gadurasa. After a few hours, and after finishing my lunch, I went back to my car, and suddenly a parking man popped out from nowhere. He aggressively pressured me to hand some parking fee, which is surprisingly expensive. A sum of 15,000 rupiah. I was shocked and couldn't figure out where did he come from. So I asked, did he work for Gadurasa? And he said the fee request was for security check. I was panicking at the moment, and I decided to threaten him and bring this case into the law of he keeps on pestering me to pay the fee. He didn't back down a little bit, and instead he threatened me back, this time using a machete that he hid under his jacket. I decided to snap my phone and start recording his action, and that's how my video went viral. And now I'm standing at this podcast.
Okay, thank you, Sir Gunarto. Thank you for telling us. And what about you, Sir Joko? Can you tell me what happened yesterday? Or maybe you have the same experience like Sir Gunarto did. Please.
Yes, so my case is extremely similar with Mr. Gunarto. I was doing my order for my online driving, and I received an order to pick up my food at Gadurasa. I decided to park my motorcycle for a while as I waited for the order. I decided to smoke a few cigarettes at Gadurasa, and once the order was finished, and I go out to take and to pull out my motorcycle, this a man who was standing in the parking lot suddenly walks to me and charges up a few rupiah, which never happened before. I was surprised by the number of how much he asked me to pay, which is uncommon even for motorcycle. So I decided not to pay him at that time. But he forced me to pay, so I did the same like Mr. Gunarto. I pulled up my phone and I started recording. And that's how my video went viral too. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Sir Joko. So from this all, we can maybe conclude of what happened yesterday, or maybe sometimes these times. So Sir Jono, can you explain what happened and what did you do? Because both of them were suspecting you as the ghost parking man. So please, Mr. Jono, place and times is yours.
Okay, it's a pleasure to talk here. This is actually my first time to go to the podcast and going online. And well, I would like to tell the story from my side. So first thing first, we need to know like where exactly is Gadurasa, right? So Gadurasa is actually near the Sanata Dharma University, and it has like a quite small parking lot. And it was actually a really dangerous place where a lot of crime coming, where people can steal your helmet or even your car or even your motorbike. So I usually working there as a parking man. I usually sit down on the side of the street where nobody can really see me. But my job there is to protect everything that happens in the parking lot. So I have the responsibility to secure the area. And during that day, I was usually doing my thing with my friends. We was just like sitting down on the corner of the street. And then I saw Mr. Gunardi. He was using his car. I mean, Mr. Gunarto, pardon me. He was like parking his car in a parking lot, which is really small. And I was like kind of confused because, barely people using car going at Gadurasa. And it's like actually my first time to see Mr. Gunarto using his car there. Because like the size of the car is quite big and the size of the parking lot is quite small. So that's why I'm overcharging him like 15,000. I think that makes sense because it is a small job. where I use this job as my money for a living to, well, supporting my family needs. And it was kind of extreme because like a lot of people disagree with my job. And at that time, I was a little bit tired because there was some case before where people stealing the helmet and thing. So I was just like sitting down with my friends, and I saw Mr. Pinarto like parking his car, and then he was eating his food at Gadurasa, of course. And when he was finished, I was just like popping out and then start to ask him for the fee, because it is normal to ask him for the fee of the parking is because I'm securing the area and thing, yeah. And then hear me out. This is what happened. So when I asked him for the fee, he was threatening me with the law. Well, I'm such a low class people where I didn't know the law and thing, yeah. But he was like threatening me with a high pitch of voice, and he was also saying some cursing word to me. So as a small felony, small man, parking man, I was mad about it, and I was using my maset that I hid under my jacket because it's for the security reason. Because you'll never know if there's a how you say it, a robbery that's happening in the parking lot. You need to use your weapons as a self defense, because this is my job to protect everybody, yeah. But instead, he was being mad and recording me and then uploading it online. That doesn't make sense at all. And then for Mr. Joko, yes, almost the same name as me. Well, I respect him because he is working as a online driver, where he surfing. How you say it? Not surfing. Well, he just like delivering food from each house to each houses. Well, in this case, it is quite surprisingly because he usually pay for me, and I assure you, he was telling lies because he usually come to Gadurasa and pay me 5,000 rupiah. But he say it is the first time he saw that. He was lying. He was completely lying, and he usually pay it. And I was surprised because he also did the same thing as Mr. Gunarto said. It's probably because the video that uploaded by Mr. Gunarto. So he was like doing the same thing because maybe he's mad at me because I'm charging like a lot of money. But I assure you, it is for the security problem. It's for the security sake. So that's why to how you say it, insulting me and my friends, which is quite how you say it, annoying. And I don't know why this felony over here, these brothers over here, trying to put me in the side of a bad person, even though I'm not a bad person here. So that's the story from my side. Maybe you can ask another question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jono. So, what happened here, guys? I'm going to make this straight up that Mr. Jono were just looking for his money, and Mr. Joko is also searching for his money, and Mr. Gunarto is searching for his money, and I as well searching for my money. So, what happened here is that Sir Jono were guarding for your vehicle and the others, what is it called? Maybe helmet, or maybe even you're bringing something on your vehicle. And Sir Jono, they are all disagree with your fee, with your parking fee. Maybe it's just too high because here I got the undang-undang of Indonesia that if someone wants to park, they need they need to be, what is it called? They need to be they have to partly with the store maybe, or even the maximum price they were charging. They need to talk about it with the store. And so how about this, Sir Joko? Can you tell me your point of view about this misunderstanding, Mr. Jono? Mr. Joko, please.
Oh, okay. So thank you. Uh, I would like to elaborate what happens from my part. So I agree with Mr. Jonah with what happened. I know it was guarding the motorcycle in the parking lot for the security. But what I don't understand is why is the fee so high and why is he carrying a machine with him at that moment? I know that there is law in Indonesia that prohibit us from carrying what in that case could be a weapon. And I disagree with how he actually asked a sum of money of 5,000 because there was no advance warning from Gadurasa that I need to pay such amount. And if he was talking like he was trying to find money for himself and trying to fulfill his daily necessities, but I was doing just the same, and I was just an online driver, and Mr. Kunarta was also a takoyaki seller. So I think if he uses his force and if he uses his machine, we have no other ways, and we could not inquire what he actually won, and we have no way of fighting back. So I think the right way is to make him go viral, and I think it was necessary. For what Mr. Jono
Uh,
said, that I
I'm
often
sorry,
come
Mr.
to
Joko.
Gadurasa and pay the same amount of money. No, I never come to Gadurasa and pay 5,000 for a parking spot. I only usually pay 2,000, and as long as I know, in the law jurisdiction of Yogyakarta, the nominal to pay for two-wheeled vehicle is only 2,000, and four-wheeled vehicle is charged at 5,000. So I think what Mr. Jono has been charging is quite an excessive amount of money. And I think the way he uses his machine and his weapon is out of context. And I think if the video doesn't actually went viral, this could be preceded by law and jurisdiction. So I think Mr. Jono is, no matter how good his reasoning is still in the wrong.
Okay, because we have limited time. Thank you, Mr. Joko. So here, Mr. Jono and Mr. Joko and Mr. Gunarto, we have conclusion that if Mr. Jono were guarding for your vehicle and Mr. Jono, you're not accepted with your weapons or with your fee. Maybe your fee must be settled down, and they were looking for money as well, like you did. And so here we are in conclusion that parking fee is agreed by the fee were not